in the end of the ball game. It's 3rd and 14. You don't really anticipate making that. Somehow, some way, he was going to find a way to get it done. And I thought he did it throughout the ball game. I thought he was outstanding. Made the big plays when they were there, made a lot of little plays in the game. Didn't really make any critical errors in the game, and obviously showed up, throwing it and running it throughout at the critical moments.
So it was a case of the tables being turned. Dallas giving the Seahawks a taste of their own medicine, outrushing them 164 to 73 yards. In the run game for the Cowboys, that was really the big factor in this one, Willie. I need you to give us a breakdown of some of these turning points.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys, and you talk about them being able to run the ball. You talking about the Cowboys or the Colts?
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, the Dallas Cowboys, okay. Cowboys. So you talk about certain plays that they did to be able to run the ball, establish a line of scrimmage. They were able to do that in running the ball. So when you watch the tape and you see some of the stuff that they did, it was Zeke, and it's good Dak. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'll go to the Cowboy clicker because my producer's in my ear saying, give you guys the illustration, so I'm going to show you. So right here, this is just a straight block right here. And when you watch this, let me give it back to you. We call this the UA quarterback blast, right? Yeah. Okay. UA, he's going to come on the outside. He's going to seal. You're going to see these guys go down and watch. And Dak pretty much does all the work himself. You give him the ball, you put the ball in his hands. He's going to read it. He's going to make a good cut. Watch the cut. He's going to let all these guys get hat on hat. He's going to make a great cut, make a great play right here, and he runs it in. So when you talk about making plays with your feet, you got to be able to do that. There he goes again. Nothing there. Watch the vision. Why is it pausing? Okay, there we go. Sometimes it happens. Nothing there right now. Every once in a while, a lot of times. There's nothing there. It's 3rd and 14. He makes a quick decision. The moral of the story is when there's nothing there, times early in the season or maybe last year, you would go into a game and Dak would panic probably in the pocket. He would try to do something. He would struggle. He would throw the ball when tight in the coverage or when it's a double, somebody's getting doubled. What he did here in today's game is when there was nothing there outside of the design quarterback runs, what he did was he tucked the ball. He didn't make the mistake. He threw one turnover, which probably wasn't one interception, probably wasn't his fault. But he made a concrete decision to take off with the ball and just use his feet instead of trying to throw into a coverage.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you get to when you get to the playoffs for Dak, it's all about not making mistakes, right? It's about going out there and understanding your game plan, what you're trying to do. And now don't worry about the other team. The playoffs is not about who you're facing. It's about what you can do and how you can execute. And Willie, you hit it right there. The quarterback runs, the tucking and going, the making sure not making bad decisions. Now, there's a couple throws that you may want back, but they weren't turnover throws, and you're able to punt the ball away and let your defense get back on the field and give you better field position. He played a phenomenal game today. There's some throws that he wanted to come back, but he wanted to get back, but other than that, he really did a great job.
He did enough to win. He did more than enough to win. And in games like this, big-time games like this, you can't turn the ball over. You can't have self-inflicted. You can't have penalties. You can't make big mistakes because the other teams will take advantage of it. On the other side of the ball, Seattle, they did. They hurt themselves in a lot of different ways. The Dallas Cowboys didn't. They didn't make as many mistakes. And off of Seattle mistakes, they turned them into points.
Yeah, Dak Prescott getting the Cowboys their first postseason win since 2014, sending Pete Carroll to 9-6 in the postseason as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And, oh, by the way, he's getting paid $11 million a season.
It's a lot of money.
3rd and 6. Andrew Luck dropped the throw, has time in the pocket. Now he's going to roll to his left. He's at the 15. He's at the 20. He's got a first down with his legs. And the drive continues for the Colts.
3rd down and 5. Luck with time. And he goes to T.Y. Hilton. Absolutely clutch for 20 yards.
Frank did a good job and had his team ready to go, and they converted some 3rd downs, And, before you know it, we were down 14-0. We missed the 3rd down, our first 3rd down of the game. And then they got the ball back, went up 14-0. And, that just changes your whole offensive game plan. So now you're almost in somewhat of a 2-minute mode at that point in time because you got to play catch up.
Well, they were playing catch-up from the moment they got off the bus by the looks of it. The Colts on 3rd down in the first half. Conversions and attempts, a flawless 6 for 6 and yards per play. 7.7, just a skosh under 8, and that's part of the reason why they look so good.
Yeah, he enjoys seeing me off my game with the
It happens so rarely.
You like
Willie
it,
McGinnis
Don't you agree?
off of his game.
You really enjoy
exactly.
it, though.
But speaking of a unit that was not off their game, it's the Colts' offensive line. We know Andrew Luck sacked only 18 times this season.
He
And
was.
that O-line, they came to play once again.
Well, coming into this game, I said this was the key matchup. You got a really good defensive line and linebackers with the Texans versus one of the best O-lines in the game and running the football and protection. So when you watch this play, this is on the goal line right here. And I said, if you do not play good technique against this offensive line, these type of plays will happen. It's an overload. It's the jumbo package. It's 12 personnel, 2 tight ends the back. And they're just saying, our guys are stronger than you, and we're going to maul you. You cannot swim. You cannot make those type of plays. Here's a trap play right here. They're going to go up with the center and get the linebacker. They're going to down block with the guard, and then they're going to bring the other guard and pull. And it's a huge lane right here. You see it, hat on hat. Everybody's blocked, and then Mac does the rest. You cannot play like that against them. Look at the pocket against him right here. Here's great protection. That's all built on what? Those 2 plays we just saw. The play action. If you're not running the ball effectively, then you can't call play action. It just doesn't work. Nobody believes you. So the ability to run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and then pull it, and of course Luck making some really nice throws down the field, open things up for their offense.
Yeah, I mean, to see the way they came off the bus, right? Because we're not going to talk about it, but T.Y.
Hilton in the clown mask.
He wasn't playing.
Yeah,
he already said that Houston was his second home. Then they called him a clown, so then he tripled down.
He has a P.O. box in Houston
right.
at last look.
And I think that's huge. But not only did the Colts offense show up, the Colts defense showed up. Now, I get it. Me and Willie are going to switch turns because he's going to talk about offense.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about defense. But it's about protecting your quarterback. And we have here the Colts. Look, they're showing there's the double A gap they're showing. They're going to bring this nickel blitz. Deshaun Watson, what are we doing? You got to see that. You got to be able to get off. Now here, the same thing again. But the running back picks it up. But as a running back, when you see this nickel coming, you have to set an edge. You can't allow this nickel, this DB to drive you back. Lamar Miller gets driven back, forces the bad pass. That's what happens. You had opportunities in this game to make plays. But this defense for the Colts showed up. And they had some timely pressures that got to the quarterback and forced some throws.
Colts, Chiefs, that one going down Saturday, 4:35, coming out of the East. It should be good come divisional weekend, and we will be here for every single second of it. Now, there's much more to come right here on NFL Total Access, and it is no longer acceptable to be surprised by anything that Nick Foles does. Being a Super Bowl MVP does that for a guy's reputation, if you say so. And after the break, will he deliver yet another present to the Philly faithful? We'll find out.
Foles looks, steps up. He is going deep. He is firing, and it is caught. It is Aguilar at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nelson Aguilar!
Nick Foles drops in a dime.